Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. And we haven't done this for a while, actually 2 weeks, I think, looking at the individual miners in Canada and the US. So yeah, therefore, that is what we're going to do today. And don't mind me closing down Steam and so on. But anyways, as always, thank you for coming back, guys. Highly appreciate it, every single one of you. Yeah, as always, do your own due diligence. This is just how I see the markets. And my favorite market is uranium. And I know a lot of people are still, I wouldn't say bearish, but they are very confused or angry that the uranium market hasn't done much. But I would argue that uranium is actually one of the better looking sectors compared to most of the stuff. I know tech is getting a bit of a bit here as well, but we had that major breakout in August, and now we just need to cool down, in my view, before we go higher. Anyways, let's dig into business here. First off, we have our beloved Sprott Physical Uranium Trust. And really, ever since we spoke, we have just been in this uprising, uptrending, tightening pattern here, and we are now just banging on that upper trend line here. You can see that we are getting some negative divergence on the RSI on the weekly. But again, it is holding up quite nicely. I do still think that we are going to visit the all-time highs here within the next 18 months or so. And you can imagine what that would do to the spot price when we get there. Shorter term here, I still have the cards open. I want to show you that we could be in for, we have the some sort of wedging pattern going on there. So let's see if we can break that upper. If we can't, then I think we will at least consolidate sideways for some period of time. Maybe we even go all the way back to the highs here, which we haven't really back tested it. Yes, we did it here, minor, but still we could go all the way down here, and that would be not so good for the miners as well. If the Sprott Physical Uranium Trust drops 15%, obviously. One of the weak ones, BSK, Blue Sky Uranium. We are at the lows here. We are at the lows of this formation. You can see them right there, 1, 2. So this right here is where we really want to hold. We don't want to drop below here, below that lower trend line. We want to hold here and then obviously take out that blue downward channel right here, and then we want to pop it. But for now, definitely one of the worst performers that I'm looking at the moment compared to some of the others. And I think the reasoning is, I think that the very small market cap uranium junior stocks are getting, it's not getting a bid right now compared to the bigger ones. But let's look into it right here, actually, where we're looking at CCO. This is Cameco. This is in Canada. So you can see here we have actually reached the all-time high from back 2007. And this is a major run here. So I'm very interested in seeing what happens at the moment after we have hit this all-time high. Two things can happen. We will pop it right away, which is rare, I will say. But otherwise, we hopefully just have some sideways consolidation up here. But just look at Cameco from 7 to 60 Canadian dollars ever since the March 2020 lows. That's roughly a 10x. I mean, that's just absolutely insane. And yeah, you can see here we also went from 2 to 60. So there might be more in, but still, that's a big run here. And I wouldn't be surprised to see some relaxation here in Cameco. But just the blue chips is often the first one to run, then the mid-size, and then the smaller one at the end of the bull market. So having Cameco doing this outperformance is great. Denison Mines, I want to show you our long-term golden trend. Go away. Our long-term golden trend line right there. And what is happening at the moment, if we zoom in here, we are on the weekly, by the way. Remember this, we are on the weekly. We have this red resistance zone here. You can see also low resistance over here. So now we're retesting and hopefully resumption, so we can get away from that red resistance zone. But for now, the 30 weekly is coming up. This is bullish sideways consolidation, and we're breaking out of that trend line that started back in 2007. So Denison looking great. It hasn't really started the move yet. Obviously, this move is a big one here, but the next leg up, in my view, we haven't even started yet. So if we start to run here, there are big resistance at roughly 4.3. So I do expect a bounce back or some retrace when and if we get up there. And that is, of course, if we hold right here. But a move up here and sideways consolidation is always bullish. Can Alaska, also one of the weaker ones. Still, we haven't taken out. This is from 2016. That's the big one to go through. We had this minor squeeze here, which we popped, and now we're just pulling back. So hopefully we are making a higher low here. We haven't made a higher high yet, as you can see. So if we can make that higher low here, then we could be in for that finally, that higher high and that breakout. But definitely also one of the more lag. It hasn't joined, the breakouts that we saw in here in the summer and in August for URA and URNM. Encore Energy, I want to zoom in. I think it looks fantastic, to be honest. Still, that was the main squeeze. We had this sideways blue rail here, connection, the highs there. Breakout and sideways consolidation is always a good thing to see until proven otherwise. We have the highs in here. That is acting as resistance here as well, you can see. So that is why we're stopping. So I think if this is bullish sideways consolidation, which it is, then we should resolve to the upside. And when we do, Encore Energy will do very well, given the pattern that we've seen here. So I'm very much invested into Encore Energy. It's one of my bigger holdings for the smaller market or for the smaller stocks in the uranium space. So if we can take out that 4.7, 4.8, and these highs, then I think we are in for that next big leg up here. And I do think the leg will be much higher. But let's look into that when and if we break that resistance zone. Fission, also one of the stronger ones. I think the market cap is roughly $500 million, so also a bigger name, performing somewhat well. This was the bull flag that we had, 3 spikes, lower lows into long-term green support zone. Fantastic. And then we curled up, breakout, retest, and now we're trying to get above the breakout high, which is sitting at roughly 0.95. But this overall to me is bullish, breakout, retest, and then hope very often you have resumption right here. So also a great day yesterday, 6%, not too shabby. And yeah, I do think when and if we start to break these up here, we are going to 1.26 initially, but I also do think we will take out, or at least kiss the all-time highs in this move here. So we're looking at roughly a 100% move initially here. Longer term, there will probably be more, but that is what I'm seeing here right now. Find baseload, also one of the smaller ones, only what is that? $36 million market cap. Again, the smaller ones at the moment are underperforming, and right now the big names and the big-ish names are actually doing quite well. And actually the mid tier is actually looking like it wants to plateau higher. But again, long-term rail right there, breaking out, and now we're just grinding it here. This is usually not a strong setup. Why? Because you usually want to see it and then the retest and then boom, snap back. Now you're seeing some grinding here all the way down. We are holding the golden rail at the moment, which is fine. However, we are below the 30 weekly, and we're coming in here at the lows. You can see here the lows, which needs to hold. So hopefully this is a double bottom. And yeah, if we start to see some overall momentum in URNM, then this one should get carried up here as well. But again, underperforming, and it hasn't really joined the party. This was when the overall uranium market started to really do like 50%, and it has gained it all back or given it all back. So not ideal for baseload at the moment in time here. Forces metals, I want to show you, zooming all the way out here. Let's remove the white lines for now because they actually don't serve any purpose. Long-term golden trend line, you've seen it many times, and we are just flagging or sideways. That's a big move here. You can see here July, the summer, massive move up here, roughly 100%. And for now, we are just sideways bullish consolidation below a major golden trend line. So if this is what it looks like to be some sort of bull flag, um, it's a bit premature, so we have to wait and see exactly how it does. And then we start to go higher. You can bet your bibbies that this one has legs. And also the 30 weekly is coming up somewhat sharply here. So if we can do sideways here while the 30 weekly is coming up, when we break that golden trend line, that is a major move in the making, in my honest opinion. F3 or FUU, still actually also underperforming. This pullback here is a bit deeper than I would have liked. We are still above the neckline, which is ideal, and above that golden breakout line right here. So right now, this zone here, you can see, is acting as a lot of resistance at roughly 0.5. Hopefully, this is the big retest and we go higher. But as long as we have some sideways consolidation here, as mentioned a lot of times, a big move up and sideways consolidation below a major level is always a good sign. It's not a 100%, obviously, but it's often a very good sign that we are about to go higher here. But the past 2 months we have given the summer run has been almost given back here. Again, it is a smaller one, $150 million market cap. So again, the smaller names are underperforming at the moment, and they need the overall uranium market to lift them as we speak. Global Atomic, also a fan favorite. Again, the lows here held, you can see here, major move up here, snap back. So now we will have to see what happens here again. We're still below the 30 weekly, still below the white level at roughly 2.3. So it's still struggling, but this momentum here takes a lot of time to overcome. So that is maybe what we're doing right now. This was the Niger situation, so major short-term collapse here, counter trend move, and now we're just still trying to unwind all that short-term momentum to the downside. So yeah, for now it's still a bearish. I wouldn't say bearish, but in my view, I cannot argue any bullish setups right now. We're still making lower highs and lower lows, and that is the definition of a downtrend. So it is what it is. GoviX GXU looks way better. Also had the same Niger situation here. That major squeeze there, what we're looking at. We came down to the gap here, and we snapped higher, retesting and resumption. It might take some time because the angle is so high as it is. But again, for now, it is doing all right, but it still needs to take a lot of time. The 30 weekly is still grinding down. It needs weeks and months in order to curl back up again. So hopefully we can just stay here, do nothing for the next 2 to 3 months, and then we go higher for GoviX. One of the big levels to look for me is that dotted line right there. If we can get above, then it shouldn't take 3 months to do so. Then we will move a lot quicker. But yeah, still momentum is still down here. We haven't made any higher highs, as you can see. So still, and also only lower lows. So it's still in a downtrend. There's no denying that. ISO, strong looking chart, man. There it is, the bull flag breaking out, retracing now into the double rail and the 30 weekly. So this should be a breakout retest resumption. Nothing more to say really. Looks good, and I think you can get an entry here at roughly 3.3, anywhere between 3 and 3.3. I think that should be all right. Obviously, we don't want to get below the 30 weekly and back into the bull flag. Then it's a false breakout. Keep that in mind. Kazatomprom here, also looking fantastic. That was the main squeeze that we looked at. Boom, all the way up here, taking out a lot of resistance on the way. That zone at roughly 34. And yeah, now we're just digesting that big move here, and hopefully we have some sideways chop, and then we go higher. We could go all the way down here, actually, to 34 to test that big level that we have there. But anyways, major higher high, and what is often to come is a major higher low, as mentioned here. Nothing goes in a straight line, but Kazatomprom looks very strong. Also, it is the second biggest, I think, or the biggest miner. No, I think Cameco is the biggest, and then Kazatomprom, but still one of the blue chip, and the chart looks very good for that one. Lamb here, Looks very explosive. Our main squeeze. Yes, yes, yada, yada, yada. Big move up here, sideways consolidation. Again, we have this green zone here, which is a lot of resistance, now support. So hopefully we have some sideways chop here. And then if this turns into some bull flag, then we have a very, very explosive move here. And I think we will go all the way up to a tad above 1. 30 weekly is coming up very sharp. So that is my take, that this one here will resolve in a further move up. And yeah, strong looking chart. And I actually think longer term also, we have a nice something like this, if I can draw correctly. So I think if this really has legs, I think we can, not tomorrow, but maybe we can kiss that 12, what is that, $16 here with a major rounding bottom here. Again, it will not go in a straight line. It will be choppy and then a final blow up at the end. So yeah, LEU, long-term golden trend line coming down. Want to show you, want to zoom in here, not talking too much. There's a tag. You can see the breakout retest resumption here. We have this smaller rail there. You can see all the interactions that we have. And now we're retesting both 30 weekly coming up, looking very strong. Looking very strong. Also, what's looking strong, I want to show you. I want to zoom out a bit. Actually, I think Mega Uranium has some great potential, to be honest. Look at this line here. You can see all the way across. So 0.4, big level you want to get through. That was the squeeze, the consolidation squeeze that we looked at. Boom. And now we're just hopefully just doing some sideways chop here before we're going higher. 30 weekly, very sharply coming up, which is nice. So weekly momentum in our favor. And I think when and if we break that 0.4, 0.42, then you can add that layer to it, and we are looking probably at 2.2 in some point in time here within the next few years. And we are at 0.4 now. So I think Mega Uranium looks very solid. And the fact that we're holding, breaking out and holding those breakout highs to some degree, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Next gen here is in a longer term golden uptrend. Beautiful. You have the 1, 2, 3. And what I think is that if we can break out this smaller channel here, it is rising. I would prefer, a standard bull flag. I like those more, but it's very well defined, this channel here. And we are holding the highs, you can see here. And now we're coming back up again. So if we can take out the upper here, I think we have a good shot at coming all the way up to roughly 20. Kissing that golden upper trend line there. So again, I think next gen looks very good. It's also one of the bigger ones. Obviously, I think it's 3 billion or so, 4 billion now actually. So if this is, the breakout retesting sideways chop, then hopefully we can blast higher. 30 weekly coming up nicely. There's nothing wrong with a big pause after a major move. You need those to step higher, really. Beautiful chart by NextGen. Not so beautiful. Holy smokes, this is getting nuked. No pun intended. That is major capitulation. I think this was earnings or some headlines. Yeah, results, quarter results here. That is capitulation by itself. So again, if you wanna step in front of a big capitulation move, this is actually it. I wouldn't bet your entire earnings on it, but the fact that this stock has underperformed so heavily compared to the others that has actually done quite well ever since we broke out, like 4 months ago, that is a warning sign. And I know there's a lot of people trapped here, so not looking good. Weird looking chart here by Lightbridge. So I only have one trend line that I'm looking at. That's that one. That is the only thing that I'm looking at. All this goofy stuff here, I have no idea what's going on. So just to be honest, so I'm just waiting to see if we can clear that golden trend line. Until then, it's a messy chart for sure. Sky Harbor, funny enough, is a smaller one, roughly 100 million, excuse me, dollar market cap stock. However, long term, we are seeing some signs of major bottom here, and we have, in my view, the bottom highs at roughly 0.7. And zooming in here again, that was the major golden trend line breakout, by the way. Fantastic. So major breakout here. And now we had this 1.5 year sideways squeeze, and we are breaking out and we are holding sideways for now. That is perfect to see. 30 week is coming up again. Looks fantastic, really. And I do think when and if we take out that 0.7, you have a move all the way up to 6 here. If we want to do the measured move here. So 3 to 6, depending on how how well I am at hitting that target. But anyways, looks fantastic here. You can see that that was the long term that I told about. So the downtrend is over. The downtrend, sideways action, and when we can take out 0.7, then you have, in my view, the stage 2. The bottom is over, and that's when we go higher. UEC, the big names, one of the, I wouldn't call it blue chip, but it's definitely one of the bigger mid-tier. It's also $2 billion. So big company. Green uptrend, beautiful. And, that was the big one to get through. And we are just grinding higher, retesting, grinding higher. So the uptrend is fully intact. 30 weekly is coming up nicely. We are in, a major uptrend here really. And I do think that we will visit the highs here, at roughly 7, and then ultimately 9. But I also think, this green uptrend here, if it has legs, we will touch the upper green, at some point in 2024, if we're lucky, somewhere in the 20s. What's not to like, really? URG, I will go fast here, guys. Also looking quite decent. Quite decently indeed. That's a golden one. We have a range there. Major surge breakout, retesting, resumption. We have this green zone here with a lot of resistance, a lot of small interactions going on. So that's what we're fighting at the moment. But still, breakout, retest, resumption looks fine. 30 weekly coming up looks fine. Looks good. It really does. I don't want to get into much more details. The long-term trend is up, and the daily trend, weekly trend is up. So all fine. Euro again, breaking out here beautifully. Now let's just have some consolidation. Let the 30 weekly catch up, and then the highest probability is that we're going higher after such a big breakout here. Easy peasy. USA, a small one, I think. Yeah, 10 million. So again, the trend is that the very small market cap stocks, uranium stocks, let's say below 100 million, are underperforming at the moment. But as mentioned here, in the early stages of a bull market, the blue chip ones in that sector will always do great. Then it will dribble down into the smaller ones, and then when they are blasting off and going parabolic, that's the end of the bull market. Same for crypto. Bitcoin, Ethereum starts to rise, and then the smaller ones are the mid tier, and then the smaller ones, and then everything just blows over. Same thing here. One of my favorites, Energy Fuels. Actually, I love this stock here. It has so much potential in my view. Also looking at the chart here, that green one and 2 minor golden was taken out by all this hard work. That is a lot of hard work to get through. When you're here and you have to take out tons of resistance, and you are here now retesting, that's a very nice sign. I love it. Again, same thing again here. Let's digest this major move here. We had a big sprint that was very hard to get through, and now let's just take a deep breath. And for now, looking at this, it's all good. Yellow Cake, also one of the best performing stocks out there. $1 billion. Green uptrend fully intact, above the previous all-time high, and now we're having some sort of retrace, and now we're going higher. I think at some point, as mentioned many times, we're going to kiss this one here, at a roughly $800, $900. It's a dollar, it's LSE, so it might be euros, but anyways, you know what I mean. Bullish chart all over, nothing to say. That is it, actually. That is it. I think I say that a lot, but the next few weeks here is very critical for URNM and URA too, if you want to go, if the pullback is over, or if we have that next leg down here. I explained that in the video 2 days ago, I think, 3 days ago. Doesn't matter. But I think overall, the big names, the mid tiers looks great. The big names are actually just grinding higher beautifully. The mid tiers are having that rest after that major sprint, and now want to go higher, and the smaller ones is just doing nothing to down, really. So I think that is the theme. Yeah, that is it, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, uranium is my favorite sector. I have said that ever since late 2020, and this will not change. And when and if it changes, I will let you know. Again, I'm trying to be as non-biased as possible. It's obviously difficult when I have a sector that I'm very passionate about, but I still think I'm trying to do my best in order to give you the most objective view that I possibly can on this sector here. Have a great one, guys, and hopefully you stayed until the end. If you did, thank you very much, and have a great one. Cheers.